Okay, so it looks like we are live on Facebook. Welcome everybody to Love Speaks Love. Just going to open up Facebook. Turn my phone down. There we go. Share this in a few places.
Okay, why am I being given a hard time? Hey, hold on here. Okay, what's going on?
Is that on
I'm trying to share it and it won't let me. Oh, hold on, here we go. Okay.
It's always harder to share on computer than it is on your phone.
I think there's something going on today, but all right, I got it.
I've had slightly strange things happening with notifications today.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Brilliant.
Here we are.
So welcome everybody to Love Speaks Love. I'm Denise, your host, and this is the beautiful Maryanne Savino. Maryanne. I always say Maryanne. Maryanne.
That's okay.
So just while we've got a few people coming, just say a few hellos. Hi Shanine. Hi Cecilia. Hi George. Hi Eve. Hi Ernie. Hi Gitu. We've got a few people coming. Just say a few.
This is crazy.
Hi Shanine. Hi Cecilia. Hi George. Hi Eve. Hi Ernie. Hi Gitu. We've got a few people coming. Just bear with us while we sort out the technical.
Crazy.
Technical strong. Hi Cecilia. Hi George. Hi Eve. Hi Ernie. I think because that was really hard. We sort out the technical. Great. Technical strong.
Are you getting sound on your end? Feedback? Hold on. Okay.
Alrighty. That was weird.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that was. It must be the Pleiadians. They must be coming in to let us know they're here.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so we've got a few people here, so I'm going to just breathe. And I invite us all to take a few long and slow deep breaths and just bring our awareness to our heart space. This show is called Love Speaks Love, and it's about being in our heart space, speaking from our heart space, and connecting all of our hearts together. So as we breathe in love and sending love out from my heart to Maryanne's, to all of you watching live, to all of you who will watch on the replay and on YouTube, and connecting our hearts with the heart of Gaia, with the heart of the sun, with the heart of the moon, with the heart of Source Creator, and with the hearts of all of the angels, the archangels, the elementals, the dragons, and of course, our galactic and star families. Whew. Okay.
I felt that.
So we wanted to connect today in preparation for tomorrow, which is the 4th of April, which is a 444 gateway. Because of course 2020 is a 4 as well. And there are three 444 gateways in this month. And I will just say, because the energies are really strong, just bear with us. If our if our English doesn't come through too well, just bear with us. The energies are really, really strong today. I've certainly been feeling them all day. So yeah, we wanted to do some codes as well towards the end of the call in preparation for the gateway tomorrow. And should we start off with a bit of an overview of whatever you want to share on this, Maryanne, if you want to share about the numerology, the astrology, whatever comes to you.
All right, perfect. I'm able to pull it up on my computer too while I'm on with you. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit. You can hear me well? Everything's...
Yeah, it's maybe slightly fainter than it was before. I don't know if you...
And how about now?
Maybe I'll just turn mine up.
Your volume, perhaps?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you.
Okay. I mean, I could put a headset on and it might sound a little bit better, but usually it works fine as long as everybody can hear me.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, what a time. Welcome everyone. So people are asking, well, what is this gateway? You know, we're in a beautiful, powerful time on the planet, and I know there's also a lot of chaos going on, and we're being given opportunities to go deeper within ourselves. And there's always a blessing in this, and we may not always see it in the moment. This beautiful alignment with Venus and the Pleiades that's been happening, it actually started yesterday. Today is the 3rd. We're preparing everybody for tomorrow, the 4th, which is this 444 gateway. However, today, the Venus-Taurus connection has now shifted. At 1:11 p.m., Venus moved out of its Taurus, which is the ruling for it, into Gemini. But that's okay. We're still in the conjunction with Venus and the Pleiades. But it went from Venus Taurus into Venus Gemini about an hour ago. And that's fine. We're still in the energy of that beautiful essence of the Taurus frequency, which is the mother, the feminine goddess. And if you look at the date, April 4th, 2020, we also have it April 13th, 2020, and April 22nd, 2020. These are all 444 gateways. But it actually, when you add the numbers up numerically speaking, from a numerology standpoint, it comes out to a 3. And what that actually means, we're still holding on to the 4 frequency. In the tarot, the number 4 is the Emperor, and the number 3 is the Empress. So it's interesting that we have this beautiful alignment. Yes, there's a lot of feminine energy, especially the Pleiades is the 7 sisters. Mm-hmm. So we have this frequency of the divine feminine very strong at this time, but let's not forget the awakened masculine, as you know, we have to bring that piece in for the balance. So this actual, I'm going to read what I put together. Venus is shining amongst the stars now of the Pleiades and is conjunct, as I said, from April 2nd through the 4th. And it's passing about a 1/4 degree south of the brightest star of the Pleiades, Alcyone. And then, as I said, moved into Gemini today. So there is a strong influence of the divine feminine. as we continue to anchor in these new Earth timelines with the new codes coming in. That feminine and masculine energy is merging for the balance, for the harmony. And if you look at, we'll look at the number 4, symbolizing structure, getting organized, safety and security at home, stability, strength for a solid foundation. I also see the number 4, this is, something I always like to look at, is relating to the 4 directions and the 4 elements. Mm-hmm. So we have that beautiful, that emperor, that strong male force that is the awakened masculine and releasing the patriarchal part, but bringing back the true awakened masculine. So now we come into the number 3, because as I said, when you add up April 4th, 2020, it comes out to a 12, which comes down to a 3. We come home to the Empress, symbolizing fertility, creativity, Mother Earth, abundance, beauty, pleasure. And 3 also reminds us that we're born of both human and divine source, the bringer of change. Trying to think, is there any other specifics? And we can also mention, the Taurus-Venus conjunction, the love, the beauty, the harmony, the pleasure. What about the sun in Aries right now? We have that structure, that stability, that strength, that fiery willpower to get through these chaotic times, the struggles and the challenges. I know it can be difficult, but we have to remember this Aries energy, as powerful and extreme as it can be, and that's not a bad thing. It's not good. It's just, it is, Aries is Aries. And if we didn't have that energy, we wouldn't be able to move forward the way we do. So we got to honor that fiery energy of Aries, the sun being in Aries right now. We're going to be coming up to the new, full moon in Libra, which is the opposite of Aries. And that's that beauty, balance, again, ruled by Venus. So we're really in the essence of the masculine, feminine energies of harmony, of coming into harmony. So I want to touch upon what stargates actually are, because a few people had contacted me wanting to know, well, what exactly does that mean? I think it would be good to go over that. I'm not going to get into an extreme amount of it, but I want to talk about, basically a planetary stargate or a gateway, or they call it a portal, is really, it's a portal, a gateway, a galactic universal realms where higher vibrational energies like the interstellar energies start to permeate the grid, the etheric grid of the Earth. So it's basically Mother Earth is being infused by this particular portal. So it's basically called a stargate because most often is found, in or near a star system, like in this one, particularly the Pleiades. They were once like closed off and basically sealed. But now, these stargates are really opening up more progressively during this ascension journey to help restore Mother Gaia to her natural state of harmony. The stargates are not new per se. They've been opening up for quite some time. My first experience personally with a gateway where I was aware of it to some degree was the harmonic convergence in 1987. And I didn't really know much about any of this back then. And I knew something was happening, but didn't understand it. And then as I, came through and started to gather with others of the same frequency, we started learning about these things, but they don't truly ever close. But there's a shift that will come. There's an alignment that's right now happening in this moment. Then it'll start to shift and move on to something else, but it's still open. So it's not that it closes and that we lose connection to it. It's just much more, I would say, amplified at this time. If there's anything that you want to add or ask or want me to hit upon, let me know. I don't want to, I don't want to take over the stage here, the lioness that I am, but I know you understand being a fellow fire sister.
Yeah, being Aries. One thing I wanted to touch on, and you touched on this, but I'm getting the nudge to mention it again, is the trinity of the three. So you've got the masculine, the feminine, and the golden child. And I really feel that golden child energy at the moment. And I feel that in the DNA activations as well. Yeah, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because Aries, it's funny, Aries and Leo are the child. Aries is the warrior child, and Leo is the magical child. So the two of us are perfect timing. But you don't have to be a Leo or an Aries. We all have a warrior and magical child living in each of us. So it's just funny that we wound up doing this and we're talking about it. Yes, we do have a magical child that wants to be noticed and explored and expressed and honored and appreciated and adored. The magical and warrior. The warrior child, grows up into the warrior adult. And the magical child is trying to get the adult to please not forget that we can still be magical and spontaneous and childlike, even though we've grown up into adults. We can't forget that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to remind ourselves of that. So, this Stargate gives us the opportunity to allow these higher frequencies to come in and touch upon all those aspects. So if we open ourselves up and say, I'm open and receptive to this beautiful, magnificent energy from the beautiful Pleiadians, the Pleiadians are beautiful souls. I can touch upon some of their traits and what they represent. They're very gentle souls who love helping others. Their mission is to assist with restoring our beautiful Mother Gaia to her natural state of harmony and balance. They are also associated with dolphins and whales. So the playfulness, the wisdom of the record keepers of the whales, the joyfulness of the dolphins. They're peace oriented. They tend to be healers. A lot of times that, Pleiadians who've come onto the earth in human form like we are, they're not always comfortable down here on the earth plane. We love Mother Earth, but we have a challenge being here at times because of the density. I wrote a piece earlier and I posted it on my timeline about what happens when we incarnate. If anybody wants to go and look at it later, please go onto my timeline, because we can feel rather uncomfortable being on the earth plane. And it's not the earth. We love Mother Earth. That's why we're here. It's the density and the distortions and the struggles that go down here that, we have to experience. But it's all part of what we chose to be here for. We don't feel very comfortable around violence or harshness or anything that's showing catastrophe. We really have a hard time. We have to kind of go off and be on our own sometimes just to replenish. Yeah. We're very compassionate, loving, natured beings. We find joy in small things, and we're great at communicating. So even though I consider myself more of an Arcturian Syrian, my very first recollection, you and I talked about this, Denise, was the Pleiadian connection.
Yeah.
And I believe that's because most likely, no matter whatever star system you resonate with more, you've most likely had a lifetime or more than one on the constellation of Pleiadians, the Pleiades. And
it's so interesting that the Pleiades is mentioned probably more than any other star system like in Australia, the Seven Sisters is very revered. Indigenous people all over the world, particularly Pleiades. And it's quite a hard constellation to see as well. You know, it's like you see Orion and it's just light, it's just huge. Whereas Pleiades is really quite small, and you can't always see the seventh either.
Right.
In the Seven Sister. To me, it always reminds me of a little pram. So for me, the star beings that I connected with first were the Pleiadians, because that's all I knew about at the time. Reading books like Barbara Marciniak's books,
right,
Amora Kuan Yin as well, the Pleiadian workbooks, I think that they were hers. So I didn't really at that time know about any others, and I felt their presence, although it could have been other beings as well, but you know, just didn't really know about them.
We're all connected, right?
Yeah. And I'm with you as well. We talked about this yesterday about us being from source. However,
right,
we will have many galactic aspects from other star systems, and we will have had many incarnations on other star systems as well. And we probably favor some more than others. And there are some galactic beings that I've had more connections with. Arcturians, for me, if it's technical stuff, I call on the Arcturians. For me, the electromagnetic field and the repair of that is a lot to do with the Arcturians, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, anything techie, anything going on. And some of the light language that I do, some of the technology stuff that's coming through, I feel the Arcturian presence very strongly there. And that's not to say that the others are not. Of course, they're way more advanced technologically than we are, but particularly the Arcturians, it's kind of, to me, that almost nerdy tech energy, but also just that there's such humor. I was like, can I say that? I got the yes, you can, because there's such a lot of love that emanates from them as well, and to me, they feel particularly high frequency.
They're very high frequency, very ancient souls, and they're also very musical beings.
Yeah,
technology and the music are kind of interconnected with the Arcturians. That's been my personal experience, because I too, that's one of my deepest connections is through Arcturus. But I, of course, as we said, we probably have had lifetimes on many other star systems. So,
and Venus to me is something that really has come in more recently. That this isn't something that I've connected with throughout the whole time. And actually, that there are star beings from Venus is quite a fairly new concept to me. So obviously there's that love connection with Venus and the divine feminine as well. And my feeling in the energies that are with us at the moment, despite the chaos, there is so much love. There is so much love pouring in. Yeah, do you want to expand on the Venus?
You know, Venus truly is that beautiful planet that helps us, you know, to remember the beauty, the softness, the balance, the love, you know, not just romantic love, but the deeper love that we come from, that we are, that we forget about, to be in our heart space more.
Yeah.
It's also having to do with sensory, all the senses, not just the five, you know, senses as human beings, but beyond that. Definitely connecting us to the senses, the higher senses, and the deeper senses of knowing. I feel Venus is that constellation that helps us with all of that.
Yeah.
You know, to remember that.
And water as well, to me, Venus is about water too.
Absolutely. Fluidity, flow.
Yeah. And so many of us have been drawn to do water healings on the planet for a long time, because, you know, we are water of all the elements, and the water links everything together as well. It's you know, it's in the air, it's on the ground. Water and fire go together as well to create steam.
That's true, especially in relationships.
And we were talking yesterday about the strong mer connection that we have as well. Like, you know, both of us resonate really strongly with the concept of mermaids, and I don't know if it's just because I feel that I hold that energy, but I often draw people to me that seem to hold that energy as well. And you're like, you're a mermaid. You're definitely a mermaid.
Gotta love the mer people.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes, definitely. So I think that this is a definite opportune time while we are at home and having to stay grounded at home, that while these influxes of higher vibrational energies from this particular galactic alignment, that we can receive the light codes to help us shift the frequency, because we're transforming from you know, the carbon-based human 3D to the crystalline human soul of 5D and beyond. So it's really the embodiment of our divinity. And it's not only about, a lot of people talk about enlightenment, and that's fine. Yeah, we are. We have a light within us. But I say, well, let's embody our light. So yes, this time, soul expansion, soul embodiment, you know, this ascension journey, this great quickening, this amplified energy of the higher frequencies is not about going outside, but rather calling our fragmented parts that we've cut off from due to past lives, trauma from then and now in this lifetime. And look at what's happening. We're literally being forced to stay home and inward. So it's really about not going outside of ourselves, calling those fragmented soul aspects back home into our bodies so that we can be integrated and live more multidimensionally.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect alignment for that. I look at these alignments because people say, well, why do we have to wait for an alignment? We don't. But there is definitely a heightened, amplified essence to an alignment when it's happening with the planets.
Yeah.
You could feel it.
Mm.
You can absolutely feel it because the energies come in, and sometimes it really kicks us in the backside and we lay literally down flat on our backs in bed, like I was for a few days with a fever. And then all of a sudden, you know, I decided to finally surrender because I kept trying to get up and do things. And every time I did, I was like, no, you don't, get back. It's like, ah. So literally the moment I surrendered, I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning and fever was gone and energy came back, because we have this tendency, and I believe, I don't even think we do it consciously. I think it's the programming that says, keep going, keep doing, you better not sit still, you better keep going, do. Can't do it.
There's so much judgment about not doing as well. That's and right. Just being. It's like we have to be doing something. And I feel the programming is on many levels. It's like it's programmed into our DNA, a lot of this stuff as well. But there is external, there's conditioning programming as well from, you know, from family, from society as well. It happens on so many levels.
True.
And just to say, Venus, the star, the planet, has been really bright as well. And I don't know if that's because there's so much less pollution in the air. But about almost 2 weeks ago, walking back in the dark, it was the brightest planet that I've ever seen. That I couldn't believe it was Venus, because I've never seen Venus looking so bright. I feel that it was.
She's shining her love down on us to help us.
Yeah.
To help us remember. Absolutely.
And you mentioned creativity at some point as well, and I wanted to go back to that.
Sure.
For a long time now, for quite a few months, I've been getting the message, create, create, create. It just really feels that that is key at the moment. It's about not being in stagnation, not having the energy be stagnated, and about creating. Whatever that is, even, you know, we don't have to be super artistic to create.
Correct. I agree.
It can be in many ways. We can create through dancing, we can create through cooking. There's a whole host of ways that we can create. My numerology is 11, so creativity and confidence is related to number 1 in my world. So I've got that twice. And I don't have the 3, which is often considered the artistic number. So for years, and as a nurse as well, my creativity really just wasn't happening. And I didn't feel that I was creative at all because I didn't feel that I was artistic.
I can't even imagine that about you. To me, you're such a creational being, a beautiful creational being.
Thank you. Thank you. And I've definitely come into my creativity. Like it's I can't not create now. Like it is just such a part of me. But I think all of us are being encouraged to be creative, you know, find creative ways to keep our children entertained, find creative ways to keep ourselves entertained. The creativity just feels really, really key at the moment.
Absolutely, because the more we enter that place of creativity, the closer we are to our divinity. Creativity and divinity are equal. It's oneness, you know, it's one essence. And if we forget to step into our creative power, then we're further from source.
Yeah.
But the closer we come into our creative essence, then we're closer to our divinity. And then we get to embody that and then express it, exude it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel that.
Now we had a long chat yesterday, and we were talking about ways to de-stress, which feels, I don't know, quite key at the moment. What would you like to share on that?
Well, yeah, especially with whenever we have any kind of planetary alignment, whether it's a stargate, an equinox, a full moon, an eclipse, whatever is happening, remember, we're getting hit with this influx of light. We're being infused with this light. Now it's coming in, it's entering all of our cellular structure. It's pushing up the old imprints, the density, the distortions to come out. We sometimes resist it, and that's why we feel so, oh my God, what's happening to me? I would say the best thing that we can do, and don't judge yourself or blame yourself if you're not quick to do it, is to surrender. That's not always so easy. Sometimes we need to get some help with that, whether it be therapy, healing modalities, whatever it is, even talking to a close friend.
Yeah.
I would say do your best to surrender as best you can, and do not blame yourself or judge yourself, because we're human and it takes some getting used to. The soul in us knows exactly what to do, but the human part of us will go through its challenges. So making sure that you're doing some form of self-care, resting, spending time out in nature, eating healthy, drinking lots of purified water, working with crystals. I like aromatherapy and flower remedies, essences. I work with crystal singing bowls. Even, again, a creative outlet. If you like to draw or paint or write or cook, whatever it is that helps you move through these shifts, because they're coming in stronger and stronger, and it affects all the systems. But what I find, the nervous system seems to get hit the hardest. I don't know if this is a personal thing, but I doubt it, because when I talk to people, they say they feel that. It's hitting the nervous system because of the nerves reaching out to all of the organs and glands, and and so what can we do to soothe and ease the nervous system? Because as soon as you start with the nervous system, I think it's going to affect all the systems. Anything that you can do. I mean, there's homeopathy too, there's herbal medicine. And look, there are some people that may need to work with allopathic medicine. And if that works for you, I agree with it. I mean, it's on the planet for a reason. We can't keep giving it a bad rap. And I admit I'm one of those people that used to give it constantly a bad rap. No, those are drugs. Don't come near me. That's awful. It's toxic. You know what? If you don't know what you're doing with natural medicine, it can also be toxic. So trust your divine guidance. Find great healthcare providers, be it allopathic or holistic, however way, if you want to work with both. I tend to work with both when needed. I, of course, will lean more toward natural medicine, but if that's not working and I need to bring in allopathic medicine, it is still medicine. And I bring it in and I do whatever I have to get myself back to balance.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you find what works for you. And, the other thing I want to say about these alignments and this ascension journey is, if it doesn't resonate, what I'm saying, what anybody is saying, put it to the side or put it away. Maybe you'll come back to it. Maybe you won't. Ascension is about resonance. There's many ways to take this journey that work for each individual. No one is wrong or bad or good or right. It is what it is. You find what works for you and allow it to help you. I like to share what I do, because if it helps even one person, I know I made a difference. When I'm listening to somebody else speak about this stuff, it's like, oh, okay, I want to hear what this person is going through now, because, I'm starting to feel like some of what I've been using isn't working as well as it used to, because that happens too with ascension. Yeah. You might find that something that you've been utilizing, a particular type of spiritual practice, a type of herbal medicine, that all of a sudden is no longer working, because we're shifting and we need to try new things. That's been my experience.
Yeah, that reminds me as well. A few days ago, I was reminded of something Matt Kahn put out about 3 years ago that was talking about the stagnation of energy. And I wish I could remember the name of the particular one. But he was saying about how sometimes when things become routine, they become stagnant. Yes. And it's not that they're not valuable, but they're just not working for now. So we can let go of those things and try something else. But we often, we cling to them so firmly.
Yes,
that
we do.
Then become stagnant. And I relate that to what's happening on the planet as well. So much of the energy on the planet, especially with humans, has become very stagnant. We've been doing our 9 to 5s, Monday to Friday. And this is like a real kind of shake-up. And it feels to me that although there's a lot of density, and the density to me feels above the surface, but these new energies and the fact that things aren't stagnating at the moment, there's a lot of flow beneath this density.
I agree with you. And you said it's shaking us up. It's shaking us up to wake us up is the way I like to put it. Because you're right. I think what happens, and I know that, and this is, again, it's not a judgment. It was an observation that I made a long time ago. We have our, let's say, our spiritual practices that we were, using on a daily basis. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so tired of this already. It's like, come on, I want something new. I'm definitely a person of variety. I just love variety, must be in my DNA, because I just love it. And I realized something very profound, and it didn't hit me right away. I figured it out later. It just came to me. The thing about the ancient ways or the ancient practices are very important because they're rooted in something. There's a foundation and there's a stability to them. Going back to that emperor.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, if we stay in the ancient ways, and I'm not saying throw them out, then we're living in the past only. But if you take the rootedness of the ancient ways and you bring it forward into the new age, because new age on its own doesn't have roots. But if you bring in the roots of ancient ways to the new age of now and you blend them together, then you can move forward.
Yeah.
And there's that masculine and feminine balance, and then let the child be born and lead the way. So it's like taking the ancient and the new, merging them, letting them integrate and see what wants to birth forth.
Yeah.
To me, that made the most sense. And when I realized that, I went back to some of my ancient practices and enjoyed them because I was able to integrate.
Yeah.
And not get caught in the stagnancy. Like you said, the flow came in, the river flowed back in. So that's very true. I agree with you.
And it's very worth feeling into the energy of things. Sometimes we resist, and it's because they are good for us. And there's a certain amount of resistance, you know, that can come through, be it from ego or whatever. But it's really worth feeling into your body and what is going on here? Like, why am I resisting? And it could just be, as you say, that those practices just aren't working for us anymore.
Well, we're evolving.
Yes.
And if we're evolving, we need something new.
Yeah.
Or just take that practice that's ancient. Let's say you have a specific yoga practice. And that's what happened to me. Mine started with yoga. I was practicing my routine. And I remember I threw the pillow. I said, I can't do another minute of this. I'm done. And so I laid down, I started crying, and I just took a deep breath. And all of a sudden I started using this rippling motion into the postures. And I said, oh my God, something new just happened. And now this is what I'm teaching people. I'm not teaching at the moment, but I promise for those of you around the globe who I'm not going to be able to see in person, I will be offering some YouTube for people to learn, or at least inspire. Let's say inspire and learn if that works for you. Because I think it's important, be open to the new, be open to what wants to birth out of us. Because remember, ascension is a rebirth.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I was just going to say as well, when you were talking about the ancient practices, it feels that energies like Lemurian energies are wanting to come through at the moment as well, that we're tapping into those kinds of ancient practices as well. It feels like we're getting almost a nudge from that time as well to kind of tap into those energies and bring those into now as well.
I feel that too. And what I also am feeling with that is, yes, we can look back, or even if we don't have a visual, we get a sensation in us. I want to tap into past lifetimes when I lived with more peace, more love, and more health in my body and in my life. It's not so much what we did back then, because then is now, is what am I going to do with it right now? So if I could tap into that spark of energy in the DNA and say, I want to bring that beautiful wisdom from my past, be it Atlantean, Lemurian, Syrian, Arcturian, Pleiadian, wherever it's from, doesn't matter. How can I utilize those special gifts right here now to help humanity? I think a lot of us, probably every one of us, if we're willing to go in and look and retrieve it and say, oh, good, I found something here. This is the gold nugget. How can I create magic from this? What can I do to bring it out in the world to help others? It starts with the self, though. We have to do it for ourselves first. Be kind and loving and nurturing to ourselves so that we can then bring it out in the world.
Now, thank you for that. I keep getting the word thymus dropping in, and it feels like a good time to talk about immunity of the body and immune stuff.
Yes.
And to me, the thymus, which I'm sure everyone watching knows about, the thymus chakra here, also called the higher heart. And I always associated the thymus with turquoise, but I'm feeling a lot of aquamarine relating to thymus now. That seems to be coming in more. I'm inviting aquamarine in even more really than thymus.
I'm feeling that too. It's interesting that you brought that up, because I was just looking at an aquamarine stone that I thought, I think I want to get an aquamarine stone, because I have turquoise and I have rose and green, the green stones, and that's all fun. But there's something about the aquamarine energy connecting to the dolphins, and that you're right, the thymus gland, to remember the joy. I think joy may be one of the best medicines for our immune system.
Absolutely.
Whatever we can do to cultivate joy will help strengthen our immune system, brings us back to the magical child, brings us back to the knower inside of us that knows exactly what to do for our well-being all around, whether it be mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. Immunity right now is I think, I'm going to say it, I know this virus is kicking ass, but guess what? It's given us an opportunity to take our strength and say, you know what? This is an opportunity to love ourselves, to strengthen our immune systems, to help each other, to show up in ways that we've never shown up before, to get into our creative essence, to cultivate the joy, to come into unity consciousness and change the grid and help clear out the density and bring back the harmony and balance to Mother Earth. That is what we came here for. We may each have our own individual something else to add to that, but as a whole, as beings of the spark of source that we all come from, I believe that's what we're here for. Mm-hmm. I do.
And I find it interesting as well that the thymus, the higher heart area, to me is where the higher self anchors in as well. It feels like that is a real anchor point. And it's almost like awakening that area and awakening our immunity is also kind of really waking up this area, which is also to do with speaking our truth with love. Just as I said that, a bat flew by the window. Oh. So it's speaking our truth with love as well. So it is really about, as our heart expands, it feels like it kind of like makes this flower, as this flower opens, it kind of encourages this area to bloom as well.
I just got such a beautiful visual as you said that, and I don't know if this is possible, but it almost feels like there's a chakra growing within the chakra, that a new chakra is opening up in between each chakra, that it's like a cohesion of all chakras, merging together. Yeah. And that within the thymus chakra is another chakra blooming. Wow. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to trust it because, guidance tells me that.
Yeah, no, I can really feel that. And I'm with you about.
Yeah. Talk to your cells, ask your cells, your cellular structure. What is it that I need to know? How can I best help you? And I had to apologize to mine, not because I did anything wrong, but I remember saying, I'm sorry if I haven't paid attention to you, but I am paying attention to you now. What is it that I need to know to help you?
Yeah, beautiful.
How can I nurture you better?
And I'm with you about I really feel that I've been feeling for a while between my heart and solar plexus, kind of where the sternal notch is as well, that there's an area that's activating there, but also between solar plexus and sacral as well.
Sacral, yeah, absolutely.
And it feels like our geometry is changing, and the crystalline geometry is coming online, and this is all to do with that as well.
I totally agree with you. I feel so in synchronicity with what you're saying, because we are changing. We didn't come here to Mother Earth to just hang around and say, oh, whatever. You know, this is no joke down here, people. We all know this, but we have an opportunity to advance, to explore, be an adventurer. That's why I say go back to the child within, be an explorer, be an adventurer. You know, wake up your spontaneity again, be in that spontaneous, childlike, you know, and even have a temper tantrum when you need to. I'm all about temper tantrums, by the way. Little Maryanne gets to have her temper tantrums.
And that's something that we're told as a child to stop. And it's such an amazing way to get energy out. You know, the shaking the head, the arms, the stamping the feet. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that as well. And there's no age limit.
No. No way. No way.
Now, are we feeling to move into a bit of an activation, or is there anything else that you want to say before we do?
I feel activation is time. I actually feel a lot of Lemurian geometries coming in, a lot of Pleiadian, Venus, even the essence of the moon, Mother Earth herself it's like a fountain is coming up from Mother Earth of energy from her heart to our hearts and then to the great cosmic heart. So I think why not go in and just start to come into cohesion and be that.
And I feel to say to everyone watching as well, I know many people speak language, do their own transmissions as well. So I encourage anybody watching us to add their energy to this as well. I'm sure you will do without me saying, but it just feels right to give that permission.
Yes, and also if you have other deities or constellations, whatever you feel resonant with, call that in for yourself, because I mean, I'm not going to name everything because we don't have time and it would be too much. We know what we're connected to. We're all connected to the one source, and it's all in divine order. It's all in divine place. So if everyone can start to just take some nice, gentle, cleansing breaths and let your body soften, open, and relax. Let yourself just release anything that you may have been holding on to, that you might still be holding on to, that's interfering with your joy. Tapping into our immune system, letting it know how much we love and appreciate all it does for us, and how wonderful it is and how much we honor it. And with that, breathe in the love and the light, and exhale any density and distortions. Chiaro koso to nishantan us et ala se kosin sia shatai samokotoru. Koturum bakasase shatai satanu karayashama kosotoi shete. Kanusasen saryashatamako sete kasoi she se. Akutentai I. Nini anano sala isan antarayatata isa koso si. Shemonai aloi. Aloi ano soi alai akakuyata. Madhuri haduruhi. Kuritaduri. Anuse naya nona kaluya la oi katuna saishatalaya. Descoton seria chamacotu sui te katun. Aracuturu, cuturu, cuturu, chamacô, soia la itaru. Bakoya ya no soya na nosha la yata. Galosoro makota la ya. From the heart of the great Mother Earth, the beautiful essence of the creational womb, we bring that up into our hearts. Malu sun nashananai sasun te shakatu. We bring this essence even up further now, going up into the great cosmic Mother, Father, God, and a fountain of light and a fountain of love and a fountain of the new earth codes and the new cosmic essences to come through each and every cell of our being. Karosatu no shate sakusun seria shatama. Denise, you can come right in.
Hiambartan kukile erat kokoita. Erat nimikia barata kanana makilla barata kulla barata tast. Ihiama eleki aratu kulla barata ititataya. And connecting with the crystalline grid and feeling the aquamarine energies coming all the way into every cell of our bodies. Hiamburdo kia barata kanakalla paket east ut una. Hona ele aratu kumpelea tanto. Hane kiara no kupa papaina kist. Ile hiampala an tur. Ane kia paradan ike kekayat ut usta. Ile barata kulla pahan tuko kokuna an ist atataya. Yanae. Just acknowledging the presence of the inner earth beings. Hiabradina kia Taurus ut unmaka. Elio nukulla paratakia patatoton urt an aki est it iala. Hiana eurus ust ut an a noko uba. Elehia an tolle ikotust. Hey ala ya. No. Hiana ya. No. Rat ost arat ut okoma anaketela atust. Hiane la koto ost a. Oya tanai akut oye. Ele rut unta parlaki est utan. Ngapa o at ai it aya kakakaya tuta. You Ja storen keparle kiampo tatata eta ehiam berlakit ia unskudla attot ottoja on era unto öst art at arabantele kepart o at
And breathe. Allow the breath to ripple through every cell, cleansing out anything, any residue, helping us to align. The healing from this will continue. Drink lots of water. Take a nice salt bath. Put some nice lavender oil on. Really nurture yourself. Get a nice cup of tea or some nice yummy chocolates or both. And we really are blessed as one heart. And the more we open our own heart essence, we come closer into that cohesion of unity. The Pleiadians are here to help us, and they're telling me that they are so proud of us. I feel like they have tears. It's that they're so in deep gratitude, and that they see us as the heroes who came to the earth plane, the warriors, the powerful force that we are. But they want us to know that no matter what we're going through, that we're never alone. They are always here to assist us, along with their other star brothers and sisters from other realms. We are not alone. Be the change we wish to see, and know that you are loved infinitely. And so it is.
I'm going to just drink some water. So on the 22nd, and a bat just flew past then as well. On the 22nd of April, probably at around this time, but we've not fully decided on the time yet. Maryanne and myself, some clearing going on there. We are putting together, I don't even know what you call it. A webinar doesn't seem the right word, but a ceremony. And we'll be putting details out about that, and again linked to the 444 gateway, and also linked to the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And as you were talking just at the end, I noticed that we had 69 people watching, and that seemed really key, the balance in that as well. So yeah, we will keep you posted on that. There will be an exchange for this one, but as always, if people are interested in coming and they don't have the exchange, to get in touch with either Maryanne or myself, and we'll sort something out in that regard. Is there anything you want to add to that?
I think it'll be a wonderful opportunity to go deeper.
Yeah.
And there's a 422, and 22 being a master number, and it's the 2 which has to do, even though it's a 4, but that 2 is the high priestess. So again, we come back to that beautiful feminine. We are currently in Aries. I believe at that time the sun will have moved possibly into Taurus. I have to look it up. I think it might. Again, that's the sacred cow, Hathor, the beautiful mother energy. It's an opportunity to come back to that place of being nurtured.
Yeah.
So, and again, yes, please don't let the energy exchange, if it's really a problem and you just don't have the means, even if you help promote, send it out to others and contact us. I'm flexible. Denise is flexible. We all have to remember that as we give energy, we need to receive. You can't just give, because that's what drains our energy. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Quite blissed out, really, right
Yeah,
now.
too.
So thank you to everyone watching.
Thank you, loves. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you, Denise, for having me on. I always feel a deep honoring and just so blessed to be able to share and co-facilitate with you.
Yeah, same. It's a real privilege and an honor to have you here as well, sweetheart. Just noting a question: what should we do tomorrow? Anything special? Thank you, Laura.
Well, yeah, we prepared today, and tomorrow continue to nurture yourself. Continue to let your healing continue. Don't let it stop just because, whatever you do that you connect with to help you in nurturing yourself. Connect to the Pleiades, connect to whatever star systems and deities, call them in. Do something kind and fun. It doesn't always have to be, well, am I doing something right? Should I do something very specific? And, sometimes just have some fun, just cultivate something fun. That's just as healing as, if anything. Joy is definitely the ultimate medicine. So do something joyful.
Yeah. And I got the little message: be open to any messages that might come through as well tomorrow. Absolutely. Be open to the energies in whatever form that kind of plays out for you. But maybe have a little pen and paper at some point if you feel drawn to do that.
Yeah, journal. Nice.
Yeah. And to create as well. Be open to any creative energies that may drop in as well. So thank you everyone that's watched, either live or on the replay, and thank you to everyone who's on YouTube. Thank you especially to you, Maryanne.
Oh, thank you. It's been always an honor and a joy. Thank you.
And we will see you soon. So I'm going to stop the, just have one last.
Bye, everyone.
Love, love, love.
Love, love, love.
And if there is the Love Speaks Love page as well, if anyone wishes to have a look at that, I'll be sharing this in there soon. Well, lots of love to everyone, from our hearts to yours. Love, love, love.